All right, I'd like to help you try and understand some of the problems that you may be facing on your Tenmarks track tonight, or maybe you've already faced them. We're not even going to look at the questions. We're just going to try and understand. We're not going to I'll try and understand the problem. Here we have a line. We've been dealing with linear equations this entire time. So we have a line. On the line you see drawn two rise-run scenarios. We have a rise over run here describing the slope of the line, and we have a rise over run here describing the slope of the line. Again, both of those rise runs fall on the same line. Since those rise runs fall on the same lines, these triangles that are formed, their hypotenuses should have the same slopes. And we can take a look at this, and what we end up having is we have two similar triangles. Corresponding sides are the rise corresponds to the rise, and the run corresponds to the run, and the hypotenuse corresponds to the hypotenuse. So they're both the same kind of triangles. This one you're used to seeing drawn under, it's just been flipped over here. If we take a close look at this, it looks like the run in this case goes from -5 to -1. This looks like the run is 4, and it looks like our rise here is 6. It looks like our rise here is 3, and it looks like our run here is 2. So for each one of these rise-run scenarios, since they're similar triangles, the rise over run should be equal. We can see that because they have the exact same slope. The rise over the run defines the slope. So for this small triangle, the rise over the run is 3 over 2. For the large triangle, rise over run is 6 over 4, which simplifies down to 3 over 2. So before we even get to the questions, we may want to look at the problem that we're given and try and make sure that we can make sense of what's going on. Now we can take a look at the questions. This, by the way, this is triangle NO. So these three letters are used to describe this triangle. And this triangle is triangle, it looks like KJO. I don't know if they use them in that same order, but when they're talking about the questions, I think they refer to these triangles. Anyway, take a look at that and see if that makes sense to you when trying to answer the questions when looking at that kind of problem. There are a couple of tricky problems in this track. We have one that, in particular, where they're talking about what is the slope of the line expression. Again, let's just try and get a handle on what's going on here. It says the longest sides of triangles TOS and triangle XYZ lie on the same line. I believe that's what they're saying. Lie on the same line. So these two triangles, and if you have to, you may want to take these out and put them on paper and just draw them like this. But these two triangles, their hypotenuses, lie on the same line. So they should give you the same rise over run. In this case, we have a rise of 7. So the slope is equal to the rise of 7 over the run of 35, which is going to equal to 1 over 5. So whatever these numbers are, the ratio is going to end up to be 1 over 5. I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but one possibility is 1 over 5. Another possibility would be 2 over 10, and so forth. But since they lie on the same line, the idea here is that they have the same slope. And I think that's really what they're asking you in about a bunch of different ways. If I take a look at this kind of problem, again, we are, let's see if I can zoom this in. we are dealing with two triangles that lie, whose hypotenuses lie in the same line. So once again, what we have is this scenario. That's not the best. We have the two triangles lying on the same line. I don't know what these numbers are, but since their hypotenuses produce the same slope, the relationship better be rise over run is 10 over 8 or 5 over 4. So no matter what relationship I have here, I should get 5 over 4. Now, I'm just going to look at the first one here, and that's it. What is the value of x? Let's say the value of x was 5. Then the value of x minus 5 would be 0. Well, that doesn't make sense anyway, but still, in this case, 5 over 0, which would be the slope, which is undefined, it doesn't match 5 over 4. Let's say we put the number 12 in here. If x was 12, then x minus 5 is going to be 7. In that case, my slope would be 12 over 7. Question is, are those two slopes the same? They have to be the same because they form the same line. Well, in this case, 12 over 7 is not the same as 5 over 4, so 12 can't possibly be x. They're going to give you some numbers down there, and you put them into this scenario, and make sure that whatever ratio this produces of rise over run is the same ratio as this produces. The whole idea is that is due to the fact that they form a straight line. That might help you get through some of these questions. If you're still struggling, try and come in and see me. Period 6 is my prep, which is lunch for some of you. I'm available period 2, and you can come in and see me period 8 also.